It's Tuesday, February 10th.
He's volatile, he creates uncertainty, and he doesn't mind lying to the public.
Reaction this morning to a new threat from U.S. President Donald Trump telling Canada he will block the opening of a new bridge linking Detroit and Windsor.
Crime is complex, more complex than ever. We are responding to more calls than we ever have.
The province announcing $1.7 million in funding for the Regina Police Service.
The advantage of perovskite panels, in preference to silicon, their manufacturing is a lot more straightforward, a lot less energy intensive, but it's still a very new technology, and we're still looking to develop it and get it out to market.
Researchers at the U of S are working to make solar energy more efficient. We'll tell you how. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Tuesday.
Great start to the day. Canada in line for another medal. Mikhail Kinsbury, we're keeping a close eye on that.
Yeah, and we're also talking about some really nice temperatures across the province today, mainly down towards the south. And I also have 6 more temperature records to tell you about from Super Bowl Sunday.
All I want to do is go and do that tubing track out of Mission Ridge, and it just keeps melting. So
yeah, it's getting slushy.
Need more snow. Let's get to news. We'll get back to weather in just a minute. U.S. President Donald Trump has issued a new warning to Canada, threatening to block the opening of a new bridge linking Detroit and Windsor. The Gordie Howe Bridge is set to open this year. U.S. President Trump now says the Americans should own at least half of it or be compensated. In a lengthy social media post, Donald Trump says he will not allow the bridge to open until, quote, the United States is fully compensated for everything we have given them, and also Canada treats the United States with the fairness and respect that we deserve. We will start negotiations immediately, end quote. The president is claiming Canada built the bridge with no input from the U.S., something Windsor's mayor disagrees with.
He's volatile, he creates uncertainty, and he doesn't mind lying to the public. And that's exactly what he's done here. Because at the end of the day, there's been thousands of hours of labor from residents in the state of Michigan and United States citizens who helped build their particular half. Steel from the United States went into their particular half. And so we truly are partners in this construction.
President Trump also claimed in a post that Canada owns both the Canadian and U.S. sides of the bridge. However, the bridge is publicly owned by both Canada and the state of Michigan. Canada funded the entire project. Under the agreement, once the costs are fully recouped, toll revenue will be shared with the state. Recent changes to the province's immigration program are impacting Ukrainians living here after being displaced by the Russian invasion nearly 4 years ago. Keenan Sorokan reports.
In January, the province only allowed immigrant workers in certain industries to apply for permanent status if their worker's permit was expiring in 6 months or less, following new immigration policies from Ottawa, which reduced the flow of immigration. The province capped retail, trucking, and other sectors that typically use a disproportionate amount of allotted immigrant spaces.
It makes me feel upset, because you never know what's going to be happen tomorrow.
Bogdan Dumenko is a delivery driver. He feels caught in the bureaucracy because specialized permits created for Ukrainians renew for 3 years at a time. Now he doesn't want to wait 2.5 years to apply to become a permanent resident or risk being deported if his application is denied.
You will not gamble on it because 6 months is pretty less amount.
Vladislav Tronka left his wife and daughter in Ukraine when his daughter was just 3 months old. Now 4 years later, she only knows him through a phone screen, which is becoming more difficult given widespread power outages in Ukraine following Russian attacks.
Almost 4 years is too hard for me, really, because I tried putting a new document 3 times and they cancel for me.
With his and many other Ukrainian permits up for renewal, he didn't hesitate to stay in Canada another 3 years. But just weeks later, the new changes taking effect mean his daughter might be 7 years old before he sees her again.
It seems quite unfair to sort of change that when somebody's sort of partway through that process and has already sort of put down roots, and now they're not sure when and if they'll be able to get permanent residency here.
The province says it understands the anxiety Ukrainian newcomers are experiencing as expiration dates near. Changes don't favor one group over another. While immigration remains a shared federal-provincial responsibility, the government of Saskatchewan is committed to maximizing provincial flexibility to support Ukrainian newcomers within our jurisdiction. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Some residents of Regina senior housing say they don't feel safe in their own buildings. They say strangers are wandering the hallways, and in one instance, a makeshift harpoon was found. Harpoon! The buildings are owned by the province and operated by Regina Housing. The seniors say there should be on-site security guards and video cameras.
Guests of the tenants are roaming around all hours of the night. One was found sleeping in the laundry room just lately. The tenants don't feel safe in our building when we have people outsiders walking around in our building, in and out of the building.
A harpoon, for real? The province says it is aware of the seniors' concerns and preparing a statement in response. Jeremy, icy conditions remaining up in Saskatoon?
Yeah, Daryl, a word of caution for anyone heading out maybe for a stroll in Saskatoon. Crews were out chipping ice from downtown sidewalks yesterday, helping to make things less slick. Weekend rain followed by snow, leaving us with those slippery conditions. City crews out de-icing the streets, but sidewalks, walkways, and driveways still could be icy, so people are reminded to be careful. The trial for a 38-year-old Saskatchewan woman accused of sexually assaulting and physically assaulting residents at a Wilkie group home got underway yesterday. Jacqueline Elias, on trial in North Battleford, charged with multiple counts of assault and sexual assault, and one count of sexual assault with a weapon and uttering threats. RCMP charged Elias in February 2024, alleging the incidents occurred between January 2023 and February 2024 and involved 4 residents. Court heard the group home residents were all nonverbal and in wheelchairs. Her former co-worker testified. Elias would put her breasts in the faces of some residents and called them perverts. The co-worker also testified Elias poked a resident in the groin with a stick while making a sexual comment. The Crown is expected to call a total of 4 witnesses. Well, Daryl, Regina Police Service set to receive more funding.
Yeah, $1.7 million, in fact, for the Regina Police Service. That money is part of the Safer Communities and Neighborhood Enforcement Initiative, with $6 million going to police services across Saskatchewan. The $1.7 million received by RPS will go toward recruiting and retaining about 27 officers. Province feels the funding will improve frontline service and response times.
Crime is complex, more complex than ever. We are responding to more calls than we ever have, and so we need to increase that resourcing in order to respond effectively. But yeah, absolutely, that's, their primary is 911 call response. We have expectations from the community that we're able to get to those emergencies in a timely manner, and we need to be adequately staffed to be able to do that.
For more of this,
the initiative was first announced in the fall of 2024. WestJet is expanding its offering of flights from Saskatchewan to Atlantic Canada. From late April until early October, WestJet flights from Saskatoon and Regina to Halifax will now run twice weekly, up from the previous once a week. The airline says the expansion in both frequency and dates is due to popular demand after Atlantic flights to and from both of Saskatchewan's major ports last year. Catherine O'Hara's cause of death now being revealed. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office has now confirmed O'Hara died after suffering a pulmonary embolism. That occurs when a blood clot blocks an artery in the lungs. It also listed rectal cancer as a long-term cause. Catherine O'Hara died on January 30th at the age of 71. It's day 4 at the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics For Team Canada, today is about renewing a hockey rivalry and going for podium on the short track. Canada may be without captain Marie-Philippe Poulin when they take on the U.S. in women's hockey later today. Schedule on your screen. Poulin went down after an illegal hit in the first period during their game against Czechia. They won that game. She sat out to the last 2 periods of the game. On the short track, Canada's star-studded team will go for its first medal today in the mixed relay. Canada won 4 medals in short track 4 years ago in Beijing. So here's a look at the medal count updated as of this morning. And of course, the IOC puts the most heavily rated on gold. That's why you see Norway, my Norwegians, in first. 3 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze for 6 medals, and why you see Japan down with 7 more medals in total. But again, gold ranks the highest, 2 bronze medals for our Canadians. The province is offering people a chance to ice fish for free this weekend. It's Family Day. Between February 14th and 16th, anglers without a license can fish on any provincial body of water. Possession limits still apply for the weekend. All the regular rules. Jason Matity, our fishing expert, will be in tomorrow morning to tell us all about free fishing weekend, Kayleen, and it seems like the weather at least will be very nice to get out there and give it a try.
A little bit too nice, because you don't want melting if you're heading out on that ice. We got to keep everybody safe out there. But yes, we do have some very nice temperatures on the way. Let's start by talking about right now, though, in Regina. The word of the morning is calm. We are not seeing very strong winds. We're not really seeing much precipitation in the province as of right now. That's going to come later on into the afternoon for parts of central and northern Saskatchewan. But as of right now, really not a lot happening out there. Very mild temperatures as well to start us off. -7 right now in Regina. -8 in Saskatoon, and winds coming in Saskatoon at 6 kilometers per hour. Just a few clouds up in the sky. I do want to show you some temperature records from Super Bowl Sunday, though. These just came in from Environment Canada. Coronach on February 8th, the U reached 10.6 degrees. That beat the previous record from 1996. Estevan, 7.6 on Super Bowl Sunday, beat the previous record from 1945. Moose Jaw, 10.2 degrees, beating out that record from 1954. Regina, 5.8 degrees, beat out that record from 1945. And 2 other places, Rockland, 8.7 degrees. Previous record was 7.2 back in 1976. And Weyburn, 10.5 degrees. That record was back in 1996 of 7.5 degrees. Today's forecast, not exactly looking like we're going to be breaking any more records. However, it's still looking really nice down towards the south. Swift Current up to 4 degrees today. Moose Jaw, 3 degrees. Regina, 3 degrees. Could be feeling closer to about 0 degrees, though. Weyburn and Estevan also sharing that temperature of 3 degrees this afternoon. And through central and northern Saskatchewan, still seeing some of those negative temps. Saskatoon reaching -3 for the Battlefords, -6 for Prince Albert with some cloud cover, and -5 for Yorkton. Let's take a look now at this 7-day forecast. So we mentioned 3 degrees today. We're expecting to carry that over into tomorrow for Regina. 6 degrees, though, on Thursday. Thursday, once again, still looking like it's going to be the best day so far this week. 5 degrees on Friday. And right now, that chance of getting some flurries on Saturday has been going down, but it does still exist. We'll keep you updated on that. But 1 degree right now is what we're expecting with just a few flurries. 2 degrees on Sunday and 2 degrees on Monday. In Saskatoon, we're seeing -2 tomorrow, so just 1 notch above today. 1 degree, though, on Thursday, 0 degrees on Friday. Again, Saturday, we're still seeing just a little bit of flurries in the forecast, but the chance is going down. We'll keep you updated. 0 degrees on that day, -1 on Sunday, and -3 on Monday with that mix of sun and cloud.
A stroke is a medical emergency that interrupts blood flow to the brain. McFavel has more.
A 27-year-old nursing student from Weyburn is currently in hospital recovering from a life-altering stroke. 3 weeks ago, Shanice Austria woke up unable to use the left side of her body. She couldn't speak or get out of bed.
And the doctor came and told me that it's a very, very bad one, and it's a very rare one. It's just, I said, like, can we have it prevented it before it's happening? And he said no.
Austria is a practical nursing student at Southwest College who was scheduled to graduate in June. According to one of her instructors, she is a hardworking and vibrant student. Her current absence has not only impacted her peers, but those teaching Austria as well.
We're trying to teach them to try and make a difference in our healthcare system. We're never expecting for one of them to kind of take the role as the patient, helping the other students kind of process some things, negative things that can happen in our profession, has been something that we've just had to process as a group.
Around the time of her stroke, Austria was dealing with a severe headache, one of the warning signs of a stroke, but she brushed it off due to her history of headaches. Other signs of a stroke can visibly be seen.
Facial drooping and weakness on one side of the body, slurred speech, and if any of those are noticed in someone that you're around, your family, friends, coworkers, call 911.
For those experiencing a stroke, time is everything, and Austria says not to ignore the signs.
Even like a tiniest symptoms, just go, because you never know that this will happen. Because I always dismiss this. Strokes is like now that I didn't even know that stroke can strike anyone, regardless of age or gender.
Austria is taking her rehabilitation one day at a time. Meanwhile, a fundraising page has been set up for her as she is a primary provider for her family. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
Health Canada has announced a recall of some blood pressure medication. They say 2 lots of marmalodipine. 5 milligram tablets are being recalled as some bottles may contain the wrong drug. It's usually used to treat high blood pressure and chest pain. Health Canada says the manufacturer inadvertently put medication to treat low blood pressure in some of the bottles. The correct tablets have 8 sides and are white to off-white in color and have the numbers 2, 1, 0, and 5 printed on them.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Lisa Kudrow is taking a trip down memory lane.
Friends, we spent the whole 10 years here. Well, I think we shot the pilot at the ranch, which is another location. But then our first season, once we got picked up, we were on stage 5.
We revisited that studio that defined the show Friends. Architectural Digest asked a group of people from LA to share their favorite local places. And of course, she shared memories from her years spent on stage 24 to that famous fountain.
Isn't she arguing to have it saved and preserved now, too, to like the Film Society?
I think it should be. I hope she is.
Seems pretty iconic to me.
Yeah. Are you both fans of Friends or no? I feel like this show can be polarizing. Some people love it. Some people hate it.
JD, you go.
Love it.
Yeah, you're
Love it?
All-timer.
Yeah.
I like Seinfeld better,
so
but Friends is good.
Yeah, I like Friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, to me,
Agreed.
I don't know.
I think, well, let's ask the question, I guess,
Yeah,
before
I suppose we should do
this
that.
discussion.
The question is, in your opinion, what is the best sitcom of all time? Now, Jeremy, wax poetically.
Yeah, it's Seinfeld, and it's not even close.
I think so too, and I think that if you replace some of the hair, some of the clothes, and some of the cars, it probably stands up today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. Is this my sign to watch Seinfeld?
You've never seen?
I've never seen Seinfeld.
But you're just a wheel ass.
No, but I would.
It's readily available at your fingertips.
I know everything is these days with streaming. I have all the streaming services. I could.
I think you got to start with the contest, right? If she was to watch one episode, it's the contest.
Well,
that's a pretty good one.
No, I think it's great, but there's a lot of context there. I think you have to know the characters first.
You might.
So I got to start it from the beginning. I would do that right now, but I'm watching the new season of Bridgerton. So maybe at another time.
Priorities.
Yes, but we want to hear from you. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. Please don't bully me for having never seen Seinfeld. Or you can scan that QR code on your screen. We'll share some answers in about an hour.
Hello there, Adam Scully inside the TSN Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, we go to Boston College hockey. Boston taking on Boston College in the Beanpot. Brady Berard in on the breakaway. Absolutely robbed by Mikhail Yegorov. Flashes the glove, making a fantastic save. No NHL going on, but still some great hockey highlights. That is your must-see moment from Monday. And tonight it's the NBA on TSN. Pacers taking on the Knicks. Tip-off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's all now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This just in, Canada has picked up a silver medal in short track speed skating. It's our first silver. We also have 2 bronze and more chances to podium coming up later today. Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're still at -7 and -8 in Saskatoon. Just a few clouds up in the sky and winds fairly calm right now. By lunchtime in Regina, we'll be at -1 and -6 by lunch in Saskatoon. And by final bell, Regina sitting at that expected daytime high of 3 degrees and final bell in Saskatoon -3 with just a few more clouds. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common price is down this morning. It's now at $127.9. The lowest you might find is $102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price $125.9, and the lowest you might find is $114.9. In the farm markets this morning, the street price of canola is $616.53 per ton, and the futures price $665.70 per ton. Amber Durham wheat now sits at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat at $253.17 per ton. And the Canadian dollar continuing to trend up. It's now at 73.66 cents US. When we return, a Prince Albert woman's creative way to spend the cold winter months. Stay with us.
Time to say good morning. It is 6:30. Let's get to news. It's not a good situation in Cuba with power outages, food shortages, and now Air Canada suspending all flights to the island for the foreseeable future because of a scarcity of aviation fuel. And remember, Canada has also issued that heightened travel warning. Heather Wright on the airline's contingency plans.
Beginning Tuesday, jet fuel will no longer be available to international airlines in Cuba. The latest sign of the devastating impact the U.S. fuel blockade is having on the Caribbean nation.
We came to Cuba knowing what to expect. There's some things you'll have every day, some things you won't. I mean, that's a norm for here.
But what has been the norm is deteriorating quickly with widespread shortages of food, fuel, and medicine. Air Canada announced today it is suspending services to Cuba, focusing instead on repatriating the roughly 3,000 passengers who are still there. WestJet and Air Transat have not suspended service but have issued travel notices, allowing for free changes or cancellations. This all comes as Cuba experiences the worst economic crisis in nearly 70 years.
We don't get to see how it truly affects the Cuban life on the island.
For decades, Venezuela had been the primary source of oil for Cuba, a source that was cut off when the United States captured Venezuela's president in January. Then U.S. President Donald Trump said he would impose tariffs on any country that sells or provides oil to Cuba, further depleting its sources of fuel. Some experts say Cuba is on the brink.
By the typical definition of what we think of as a failed state, Cuba is sort of on the cusp of it.
The government has closed hotels in Veradero and is consolidating tourists to save on resources. Fuel sales are being limited while school and business hours have also been reduced. Cuba has said it is open to negotiating with the United States to end this oil blockade. Meanwhile, the government is warning its citizens to prepare for hard times beyond what they are experiencing now. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
A preliminary hearing began Monday for Carry the Kettle Nakota Nation Chief Scott Isapi. Isapi was arrested in March last year following a criminal financial crimes investigation. He is charged with fraud, theft, money laundering, and breach of trust. The hearing is set out to decide if there's enough evidence to proceed with trial. However, details and evidence spoken about in court are now under a publication ban. An 18-year-old man has been charged in connection to Saskatoon's first homicide of the year. Last Tuesday, 2 25-year-old men went to St. Paul's Hospital to be treated for stab wounds. One man died of his injuries. As of last week, the other was in stable condition. Police say the 18-year-old has been charged with manslaughter and aggravated assault. No other details about the stabbings have been released, but police have not said if they are looking for other suspects. A 23-year-old man has been charged following an impaired driving investigation over the weekend in Saskatoon. Police were called to the Lawson Heights neighborhood where a car hit a fence and a shed in the 100 block of Nokomis Crescent. The driver then ran from the scene. Officers found the vehicle with significant damage abandoned in the middle of the street. Suspect found nearby. He was charged with refusal and was issued a ticket for hit and run. Researchers at the University of Saskatchewan are now working on a new way to make solar energy more efficient. Scientists are studying a new type of solar cell made from perovskite crystals, a material that could become an alternate to traditional silicon panels, with the benefit of being cheaper to produce and can be highly efficient.
The advantage of perovskite panels, in preference to silicon, their manufacturing is a lot more straightforward, a lot less energy intensive, but it's still a very new technology and we're still looking to develop it and get it out to market.
As the world relies more on AI, the need for energy continues to grow, and researchers believe improving solar performance could help meet that demand. New Brunswick is sharing details of an error which saw personal medical information sent to hundreds of wrong addresses in the province. They say 365 people received other people's Medicare information, along with their own, in the mail. New Brunswick has told CTV News the error was discovered last week and that it has happened over a 2-week period. New Brunswick says it has started telling people who were affected last week, but it's not clear how many people still need to be contacted. The Office of the Ombudsman says anyone concerned with their health information should contact their office. The federal Conservatives are calling for tax relief for laid-off GM workers. Leader Pierre Poilievre has written a letter to the Finance Minister asking for a tax exemption for severance paid out to GM workers who lost their jobs when the GM organization stopped production of their Bright Drop EV. A lump sum payment can lead to heavy tax hits, especially for workers who have been with the company for a long time. A Prince Albert woman has found a creative way to spend the cold winter months. Nola Lenner has built an ice castle in her yard every winter for the last 3 years. She says 3 years ago, a friend showed her a picture of an ice castle on social media and suggested she could make one as well. Lenner was up for the challenge and got to building. This year's castle is constructed of ice, snow, and food coloring. The blocks were made at home in lasagna pans, believe it or not, and plans to keep that tradition going.
It's going to be different, but absolutely next year. Yep, it's my holiday project. Well, actually, it's going to be my retirement project because I'm going to retire soon. So, yeah, definitely next year.
The castle took just over a month to complete. Just about everyone is reacting to Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance, including Elmo. Elmo took to social media saying that the bunny was amazing, calling him Mr. Good Bunny. Elmo has been fairly active on social media in the past few days, ready to weigh in on just about everything, including Taylor Swift's latest music video that seemed to ruffle some of those red fur on Elmo's head. Let's get over to the Weather Center and talk about that morning view.
Yeah, the morning view is very calm this morning. It's brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. Not really seeing too much in terms of the winds today, not really seeing too much for precipitation. -7 right now to wake us up in Regina. Clear skies to start the day. And in Saskatoon, just a few clouds right now. And we're currently waking up to a temperature of -8. Let's talk about those hot and cold spots across Saskatchewan and across Canada now. Maple Creek is the hot spot at 0.0. The Saskatchewan cold spot is Uranium City at -22.2. The Canadian hot spot this morning, White Rock, BC at 8.3 degrees right now. And the Canadian cold spot is Thompson River. Take a look at that temperature, -57.1. So we've talked about the hot spots and the cold spots. Let's talk about everything in between. We are seeing some cooler temperatures today than what we have been seeing in previous mornings, but the afternoon is going to be pretty similar to what we have been seeing. -19 right now in Stony Rapids, -14 in La Ronge, -11 for Spiritwood, Prince Albert, Nipawin, and -9 in Melfort. Down towards the south, again, a little bit cooler this morning, -4 in East End, -3 in Assiniboia, -9 in Yorkton, and -5 in Weyburn and Estevan. So we said not too much in terms of precipitation right now this morning. We do have just a little bit that's going to be impacting areas north of Prince Albert later on this afternoon. Into those evening hours, we see a little bit more popping up way up north And then into tomorrow morning, we are talking about some very scattered flurries popping up. This is at about 10:45 a.m. that we're projecting it to be, again, very scattered with a lot of cloud cover tomorrow morning. Your 7-day forecast looking pretty good in terms of the temperatures. The only day that we're really seeing snow on the forecast right now is on Saturday, but the chance of that actually coming is going down. So we could have a 7-day forecast without any flurries at all for Regina. 3 degrees tomorrow, though, 6 degrees on Thursday, 5 degrees on Friday, dropping down to 1 degree on Saturday, 2 degrees on Sunday, and 2 degrees on Monday. As we turn our attention over to Saskatoon, temperatures looking a little bit below what we're seeing down towards the south, but still not bad, above that average still. So good news. -2 tomorrow, 1 degree on Thursday, 0 degrees on Friday and Saturday. We're also seeing that chance of seeing those flurries on Saturday going down. They still do exist, so we're going to let you know about it, but it's just not for sure. It's a low chance right now. -1 on Sunday and -3 on Monday.
A new initiative by the Trans-Canada Trail is aiming for Canadians to explore outdoors in an effort to combat those winter blues. Justin Fotu is joining us to discuss some of the findings in the local walking trails all around our great province that could benefit your mental health. Justin, thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me, Daryl. Great to be here.
What's the incentive behind this?
So our Blessed Cause initiative, it actually started out back in the during the pandemic when, everyone was obviously locked up inside and there was a lot of social isolation. People were really kind of feeling that drain, the mental strain of being cooped up inside. So we started this initiative all the way back in 2021. And then even when we got out of the pandemic, we found that, during those winter months, people often tend to really isolate themselves. A lot of people look outside and they'll just think, I'm not going out there. And then they end up kind of falling into a routine of, you get up, you go to work, you come home, watch TV for a few hours, and then just go to bed. And that kind of routine, it can really contribute to what we call, the winter blahs, the winter blues, or kind of on the more serious side, seasonal affective disorder. When we do kind of keep ourselves cooped up inside, we're not only kind of depriving ourselves of the fresh air and sunlight that our bodies and minds really need, but we're also missing out on a lot of social opportunities. We're really, when we kind of isolate ourselves like that, that's what leads to those feelings of kind of social disconnection, and then that can lead to a lot of those seasonal mood disorders.
Justin, where is your group focused in on in this province? Where do you especially love, and why is it important to highlight those areas?
Yeah, well, the best one of the really nice things about the trails in Saskatchewan in particular is how ingrained a lot of them are just like within cities. So in Regina, there's the Wascana Center. The Trans-Canada Trail goes right through the urban park there, and there's all kinds of different trails where, a lot of people, I know they're very well used in the summer, but they can be well used in the winter as well. The Regina Ski Club actually grooms a lot of cross-country skiing trails right in the urban park there. So it can be a lot easier than a lot of people think to get out on the trail. And that's really just in Regina. Right in Saskatoon, there's the Meewasin Trail, which the Meewasin Valley Authority does a wonderful job managing, and it really stretches right through kind of the heart of the city. So it's very accessible, whether you want to go for a bit more of an exploratory walk, or if you just want to get out on your lunch break and get 20 minutes in nature. There are no shortage of opportunities for that. And then if you're looking for more of a day trip, more of a way to get out kind of into a more of that traditional nature winter experience, a fantastic option is the Pemiska Trails up just about 45 minutes north of Saskatoon on the Beardy's and Okamasas Cree Nation. And there's just some amazing winter trails there. They're groomed for cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, winter fat tire biking. There's really no shortage of activities to get outside and enjoy the winter.
Justin, thanks for this. The website's on your screen if you want to get outdoors and find some of those trails he's talked about.
Thanks so much, Daryl.
Alphabet is selling sterling and Swiss franc denominated bonds for the first time, including an ultra rare issue of a 100-year note following a bumper $20 billion deal in the U.S. Alphabet's 100-year note is the first sale with such an extreme maturity by a technology firm since Motorola sold this type of debt in 1997, according to data compiled by Bloomberg. I could not justify taking such a long maturity bond in most companies, especially not one subject to an ever-changing landscape, said Alex Ralph, co-portfolio manager of Ned Group Investments Global Strategic Bond Fund. So we'll see what happens. Canadians in Cuba are waiting for flights home as an energy crisis worsens in the nation amid a U.S. oil blockade. Major Canadian airlines have already suspended service to Cuba, but confirmed they plan to bring travelers back home. Calgary-based WestJet says its decision to wind down winter operations will affect WestJet, Sunwing Vacations, WestJet Vacations, and Vacances WestJet Quebec. No word on the financial impact on the companies. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Where, oh where is Janelle Lip-High this morning? Oh, there she is. She's out at Echo Valley Provincial Park. Good morning, Janelle.
Hi, Jeremy. Good morning. We've got lots of fun ahead of us here. Shelley McLean and I are down at Echo Park here this morning. Now, Shelley, a hot topic of conversation has been ice thickness with all this warm weather. Tell me a little bit about how things are looking.
Good morning, Janelle. Yes, absolutely. We've been receiving a ton of phone calls here in Park because of the warm-up that we've had. And I have great news for all the viewers. The ice condition here at the park is still fantastic. Thanks to our amazing maintenance team that are currently out on the ice right now as we speak. Our skating loop is still open and is in great condition. And obviously, we're standing on Croaky Curl here right now, and the ice is super slippery and ready to roll.
Take my word for it. It absolutely is super slippery. Now, Valentine's Day right around the corner. You guys have some beautiful decor up for that. What's on the agenda?
Yeah, so Valentine's Day is always a magical time here in Park. We've already had a few of the viewers reaching out and asking about that special day if they're looking perhaps for an engagement location. We're it. So yeah, definitely reach out if we can help in any way. We've got hearts all over the park. And of course, with the lights, it truly sets the stage for a beautiful evening.
It is gorgeous out here. Before we wrap things up, we've got a little activity to do. Do you want to walk me through that?
Yes, we're going to do a little prelude to the men's and ladies Olympic curling that's getting ready to start out. We're going to play a little croaky curl here today, so I've got a rock for each of us. I will grab them.
All right, here we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, they're kind of heavy.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to take aim at the button, so I can hold your mic.
Oh, thank you.
Just so you can get into the proper form here.
What is the proper form?
Okay, you'll get down on one knee and you're going to slide towards the middle.
All right.
Oh, that's pretty good.
First time. Can you believe it?
That's pretty good. I think the next Winter Olympics has your name on it for sure, Janelle.
I think you're right. Okay. Well, this actually might be in my future. I think we should probably do that again.
I think that was fabulous.
I think so too. All right, we'll be back very soon.
You got to work on your form. But the results, I mean, you can't argue with those. So we'll see how you do in just a little while, Janelle. Thank you.
It's February 10th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a belated happy birthday wish going out to Sienna. She's now officially a 14-year-old. We hope your day was awesome. Lots of love from your mom and dad. Celebrating today is Noah. He's turning 15 years old. Have a great day with lots of love from your mom, Devin, Caden, and the cats. And this is a big one, a huge happy birthday going out to Dorothy Bast on her 100th birthday today. She is a beloved mom, grandma, and great-grandma who is always achieving new heights. Dorothy, your family loves you so much. Enjoy your day. And finally, an anniversary wish to share with you. Bob and Lillian are marking 60 years of marriage today. Much love from your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, as well as your extended family and friends. We hope you have a wonderful day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Oh, look at you all, brilliantly tanned.
Thank you. You know, the lighting in here isn't fantastic. I'm as tanned as I ever get, which is still like a 1 on the scale of 10. But you know what? We're back, though, from Mexico. We got a lot of money to give away this morning, too, with Crack the Co-op number. It has increased. It is at $750. We're going to be playing at 7 o'clock here, so fire us up with the iHeartRadio app. Get ready to play. We have the first 2 digits, a 5 and an 8. We are missing the last 4, though. You can see previous guesses at purecountry927.ca. Get ready to play along at 7 o'clock and win that $750. Also, speaking of money, we're going to be looking at how much the people that were dressed as grass in the Super Bowl were making.
Oh, they made money.
They made money on that. They worked hard, 70 hours in total, and those suits weighed 40 pounds.
Okay. Speaking of part-time jobs, Keelan's still offering to give you the spray tan person's phone number to get you all looking more Mexico.
I feel like I'm going to end up like Ross from Friends in this situation.
It's just the leather pants that you can't get. Enjoy your paste pants.
All right, we'll see you in a bit.
The Motion Picture Academy reportedly is ending theatrical screenings of Oscar-nominated films. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the Academy informed members of the change last month. It says attendance at the screenings has dropped significantly since the Academy launched its members-only streaming service 7 years ago. Catherine Zeta-Jones is set to star in Cupid. The Oscar and Tony winner will play a marriage counselor who uses unusual and even dangerous methods to try to repair a couple's troubled relationship. The script is from the writers of another psychological thriller, Don't Worry, Darling.
Listen to me, we need help.
Oh, you need some help?
Send some.
If you can't get enough killer chimp action, Primate is headed to home video. The horror thriller arrives on digital platforms today and on Blu-ray and DVD April 21st, with more than 30 minutes of bonus content. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Remember the guy we talked about last week that was going to have movies every week? He's going to get stuck with this killer chimp movie now.
Yeah. Well, I like how that story said, you know, in case you can't get enough of the killer chimp action.
Lord knows
I've always said that. I've always said I can't get enough of that.
Oh, man. Here's a long-distance traveler that's scoring big.
Love me, love me, love me, love
All the steps you want, little fella. It's okay. Don't worry about dribbling.
Hold on, I want to see a shot.
Here he goes.
Dream big.
Hoop dreams.
I want him to get it. Oh.
Underhand shot. It's up. It's good.
Oh my goodness.
He saw his break. He just had to take it.
That's true.
Look at him go. That was amazing.
At that age, they probably don't make them dribble either. It's probably just part of the experience.
Oh, he's so happy.
It's a good way to end this hour. Let's reset, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Welcome to Tuesday, February 10th.
He's volatile, he creates uncertainty, and he doesn't mind lying to the public.
Reaction this morning to a new threat from the U.S. president telling Canada he will block the opening of a new bridge.
We came to Cuba knowing what to expect. There's some things you'll have every day, some things you won't.
Contingency plans to get Canadians home because airlines suspending flights to Cuba because of an ongoing fuel shortage. And the Canadian women's hockey team may be without their captain as they take on their arch rivals from the U.S. today. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Thanks for starting your Tuesday with us.
We have some exciting news from the world of the Olympics. Team Canada has won its first short track speed skating medal at Milano Cortina 2026, taking silver in the mixed relay. That is a quartet of Kim Boutin, Courtney Soro, William Dandijo, and Felix Roussel. So congratulations to them.
Massive congratulations. I'm also really glad that last hour you didn't make me read all those names, because I would have just gotten them all wrong.
So let's get to the medal count. Norwegians still leading the way with 3 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze. Of course, it is weighted more heavily on gold. That's why you see them at the top. Canada now with 3 total medals, 1 silver, 2 bronze. We're still awaiting our first gold medal.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that.
Janelle might have been able to get one in croquet curl.
When can we send her to the Olympic qualifiers? I think we should do that.
I think we got to get the broadcast rights back. Let's get to news for this part of the hour. U.S. President Donald Trump has issued a new warning to Canada, threatening to block the opening of that bridge linking Detroit and Windsor. The Gordie Howe Bridge is set to open this year. Now the U.S. President said they should own at least half of it and be compensated. It was a long social media post where Donald Trump said he will not allow the bridge to open until, quote, the United States is fully compensated for everything we have given them, meaning Canada, and also Canada treats the United States with fairness and respect that we deserve. We will start negotiations immediately, end quote. President Trump is claiming Canada built the bridge with no input from the U.S., something Windsor's mayor disagrees with.
He's volatile, he creates uncertainty, and he doesn't mind lying to the public. And that's exactly what he's done here. Because at the end of the day, there's been thousands of hours of labor from residents in the state of Michigan and United States citizens who helped build their particular half. Steel from the United States went into their particular half. And so we truly are partners in this construction.
President Trump also claimed in the post that Canada owns both the Canadian and U.S. sides of the bridge. However, the bridge is publicly owned by both Canada and the state of Michigan. Canada funded the entire project. Under the agreement, once the costs are fully recouped, toll revenue will be shared with the state. Ukrainians living in Saskatchewan are calling on the province to reverse some recent immigration changes. In January, the province only allowed workers in certain industries to apply for permanent status if the worker's permit was expiring in 6 months or less. Following new immigration policies from Ottawa, the province capped retail, trucking, and other sectors that typically use a disproportionate amount of allotted immigration spaces and only allow applications during specified periods. Ukrainians feel they're being caught in the bureaucracy.
Makes me feel upset, because you never know what's going to be happen tomorrow.
It seems quite unfair to sort of change that when somebody's sort of partway through that process and has already sort of put down roots, and now they're not sure when and if they'll be able to get permanent residency here.
More about that on our website right now. It's one of the issues that has impacted activity in downtown Regina. People feeling unsafe, and it's not just people walking around on the streets. Residents in a seniors public housing high-rise say strangers wander their halls while a makeshift harpoon was found in the common area. Wayne Mantica reports.
Seniors gathered outside this government-owned high-rise to voice security concerns about their building. They have found people trying to break in at night, strangers loitering in hallways, and in one instance, a makeshift harpoon in a public area.
And seniors, not just here, but right across Saskatchewan, we deserve to feel safe and to get the support that we need without having to wait.
They say concerns have been raised with Regina Housing, which operates several buildings on behalf of the provincial government. The seniors say their calls for better security have gone unanswered.
Guests of the tenants are roaming around all hours of the night. One was found sleeping in the laundry room just lately. The tenants don't feel safe.
The media event outside the seniors' high-rise was organized by the Saskatchewan NDP opposition.
They want their concerns addressed, and that's not something that we're seeing by this government at this point. I'm glad that they were able to stand up and raise their voices.
The provincial government says security measures are in place at the seniors' housing complexes, including fob keyless entry systems and surveillance cameras. It says the incident involving the harpoon took place 2 years ago, with nothing similar since. It says the health and safety of its tenants is a priority. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Jeremy, a high-profile trial underway in your city.
Yeah, Daryl, the trial of a Saskatchewan woman accused of physically and sexually assaulting non-verbal residents of a Wilkie group home got underway yesterday. As Stacey Hine tells us, the woman's co-workers took the stand testifying about the inappropriate behavior they witnessed. A warning, details in this story could be disturbing for some viewers.
Jacqueline Elias walks into North Battleford Provincial Court on the first day of her trial. The 38-year-old is charged with multiple counts of assault and sexual assault and one count of sexual assault with a weapon and uttering threats. RCMP charged Elias in 2024, alleging the incidents occurred between January 2023 and February 2024 and involved 4 residents at a Wilkie group home. Court heard they were nonverbal, in wheelchairs, and required assistance for personal care, including feeding, bathing, and changing. Lisa Knuff, who worked with Elias for 13 months, testified she saw Elias poke a resident in the genitals with a stick and make a sexual comment. She also testified she saw Elias put her fingers in a resident's mouth and call him a pervert. She testified that on multiple occasions, Elias would put her breasts in the faces of some residents while they were lying down or in their wheelchair. She testified sometimes Elias would stuff a washcloth in a resident's mouth to stop them from drooling. During cross-examination, defense asked why Knuff hadn't reported the alleged abuse sooner. Knuff told court she was afraid to speak to anyone and at the time believed she might be overreacting. She said she later decided to come forward after someone else mentioned similar incidents. Holly Ennis, another former co-worker, also testified today, telling court she witnessed Elias, quote, dry hump residents. 3 days have been scheduled for this trial, which is set to resume Tuesday morning. Stacey Hine, CTV News, North Battleford.
Daryl, some funding from the province for Regina Police.
Yeah, $1.7 million announced. That money is part of the Safer Communities and Neighborhoods Enforcement Initiative, with $6 million going to provinces, police services rather, across Saskatchewan. The $1.7 million for RPS will go toward recruiting and retaining about 27 officers. Province feels this funding will improve frontline service and response times.
Crime is complex, more complex than ever. We are responding to more calls than we ever have, and so we need to increase that resourcing in order to respond effectively. But yeah, absolutely, that's, their primary is 911 call response. We have expectations from the community that we're able to get to those emergencies in a timely manner, and we need to be adequately staffed to be able to do that.
For more of this,
The initiative was first introduced in the fall of 2024. WestJet is expanding its service to Atlantic Canada. From late April to early October, WestJet flights from Saskatoon and Regina to Halifax will now run twice weekly. Used to run once. The airline says the expansion in both frequency and dates is due to popular demand after Atlantic flights to and from both of Saskatchewan's major cities began last year. Researchers at the University of Saskatchewan are working to make solar panels more efficient. As CTV's Laura Woodward reports, it comes as the global demand for power is at an all-time high.
Inside this lab at the University of Saskatchewan, researchers are testing solar cells.
We can simulate the same light that we have from the sun and see how much of that light is converted to electricity, right?
The researchers want to make solar energy more efficient as artificial intelligence drives up the demand for power.
Just the sheer amount of data processing that goes into having AI think is tremendous. And so that takes electricity, and that electricity has to come from somewhere.
To help meet that demand, the scientists are studying a new type of solar cell made from perovskite crystals, a material that could become an alternative to traditional silicon panels.
The advantage of perovskite panels, in preference to silicon, their manufacturing is a lot more straightforward, a lot less energy intensive, but it's still a very new technology, and we're still looking to develop it and get it out to market.
The researchers are using technology at the Canadian Light Source to track how well these solar cells generate electricity in real time.
That's a little bit like if you could imagine trying to bake a cake, but without having to open the oven door. If you could know how that cake was baking in the oven, imagine how it was tasting, and know exactly when it was done, That's sort of what we're doing, only with this new technology.
Kelly says even small improvements in solar technology could make a big difference in meeting current and future energy needs. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The province is offering people a chance to fish for free over the Family Day long weekend. Between the 14th and 16th, you can head out without a license on any provincial body with open restrictions. Of course, you have to follow all the rules, but there are free fishing happening over the weekend. Jason Madity is our fishing expert. He will be with us tomorrow morning at 6:40 to give you the whole lowdown on everything you need to know. Let's get over to the weather forecast, because that's the other thing you need to know if you're heading out doing any fishing. First of all, you need to be safe. The ice needs to be thick.
Yes, and so we're going to ask Jason about that tomorrow, because how can you stay safe out on that ice when everything is melting right now? And we're probably going to continue seeing things melting out there today, especially down towards the south, where we're still seeing some of those positive temperatures. Again, it's like I'm a parrot. Warmest temperatures down in the southwest corner of the province today. -8 to wake us up, though, in Regina right now. We have seen the clouds coming in the past few minutes. Winds remaining very calm this morning in both Regina and Saskatoon. And Saskatoon waking up to that temperature of -8 right now. Let's take a look at how those temperatures compare across the country. So if you look west of Saskatchewan, we're seeing temperatures actually cooling off from what we have been seeing in previous days. And if we look east of Saskatchewan, we're seeing temperatures warming up a little bit. Winnipeg was seeing some very frigid temperatures in the morning. Now they're right along with us and at that like -9 mark here, -2 in Thunder Bay, -4 in Toronto. Again, that is a significant improvement from just yesterday when we were seeing about -19 at this time. Still seeing cooler conditions over in Quebec, though, this morning. Today's forecast in the afternoon looking pretty good. Again, above the seasonal average for many places, especially down towards the south. Swift current, that number actually just bumped up. We were projecting about 4 degrees. Now it's coming in at about 5 degrees. So looking pretty good for your afternoon. 3 degrees expected for Moose Jaw. Weyburn has also seen an improvement, now up from 3 degrees to 4 degrees. Estevan still expecting about 3 degrees. Yorkton -4, -6 expected for Prince Albert this afternoon, and -2 expected for the Battlefords. Let's take a look at some of those temperature records that came in from Environment Canada. This was on your Super Bowl Sunday, breaking some of those maximum daily records for that day. Coronach 10.6 degrees on Super Bowl Sunday. That beat the record from 1996. Estevan 7.6 degrees beat that record from 1945. 1945 was a very warm year, because you can see the previous record in Regina was also set in 1945. That was 5.6 degrees, and Regina beat that out at 5.8 degrees on Sunday. Moose Jaw 10.2 degrees on Sunday. Rockglen beating their record. Previous one was set in 1976, and Weyburn 10.5 degrees on Sunday. That beat out the previous record that was set in 96. Your 5-day forecast for the rest of the week looking pretty good in Regina, but although we do see just a few flakes on the radar on Saturday, the chance of that coming in, though, has been going down. We're going to keep you updated on that. In Saskatoon, similar conditions, a little bit cooler, but still above the seasonal average. And again, the chance of seeing those flakes on Saturday is going down. Time now for a look at our rural forecast. We're seeing some pretty mild temperatures, a little bit cooler than what we have been seeing in the north and central zones, but still not bad. -6 in Melfort with that cloud cover today, -7 in Hudson Bay, -2 expected for Wynyard with that cloud cover. Down towards the south, temperatures looking not so bad, 7 degrees for Maple Creek, and we are seeing most of that sunshine down in that southwest corner today. 3 degrees for East End, 3 degrees for Rockland, Coronach 4 degrees, and 0 degrees expected for both Broadview and Carlisle. Let's take a look at Big River, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. We're expected to peak at -6 this afternoon, sun and clouds, and winds fairly calm, only coming in up to 20 kilometers per hour.
Hello there, Adam Scully inside the TSN Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, we go to Boston College hockey. Boston taking on Boston College in the Beanpot. Brady Berard in on the breakaway. Absolutely robbed by Mikhail Yegorov. Flashes the glove, making a fantastic save. No NHL going on, but still some great hockey highlights. That is your must-see moment from Monday. And tonight it's the NBA on TSN. Pacers taking on the Knicks. Tip-off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's all now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The final trailer has arrived before fans get to see Ryan Gosling back on the silver screen.
I understand that you think I'm the right person for this mission. I understand the stakes.
I've actually read this book. It's by Andy Weir, who also wrote The Martian. This movie is called Project Hail Mary. The story follows a science teacher who wakes up alone on a spaceship light years away from Earth. He then uncovers a mission to stop a mysterious substance from killing the sun. It hits theaters March 20th. I'm very excited about this one. This is going to be a lot of, just like Matt Damon, acting alone.
Oh,
for Ryan Gosling.
yes.
But the story.
Martian was so good.
Yeah, this book was fantastic. So I'm hoping for good things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're moving from movies into sitcoms now for our question of the day. We're asking, in your opinion, what is the best sitcom of all time? I don't even know if we're going to have time for all the answers that we got in. We had one answer saying the greatest sitcom of all time is The Big Bang Theory.
Well, that's good. You can see 6,000 episodes per day.
Yeah, you know what? In 2025, I made my way through all of The Big Bang Theory. I've seen every episode now, and that took a long time.
Just on regular television.
Yeah, Gary calling me out a little bit. The Beverly Hillbillies, and I bet Kayleen's never seen that one either. I haven't, but I did look it up because I've heard of it before. It came out the year my dad was born.
Yeah, Gary, that's an old show. That's not fair. She's 25.
I'm 28. Howard saying King of Queens. Karen saying I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy was one I was expecting to see a lot. Karen, so far, the only one saying that one. These ones from the 80s, Married with Children and Newhart.
No, I hate Newhart.
Why?
Larry and his brother Daryl and his other brother Daryl. Bane of my existence.
I bet.
Yep, bane of my existence.
My father-in-law, Kelly, wrote in and said, #1 sitcom of all time has to be All in the Family. Bob saying Corner Gas, my favorite. I was expecting Corner Gas to get a little bit more love on our text line this morning. And, we're not going to the last one. We did have one more. We're not going to it. We want to hear from you. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen. We'll share some more answers in about an hour.
Alphabet is selling sterling and Swiss franc denominated bonds for the first time, including an ultra rare issue of a 100-year note following a bumper $20 billion deal in the U.S. Alphabet's 100-year note is the first sale with such an extreme maturity by a technology firm since Motorola sold this type of debt in 1997, according to data compiled by Bloomberg. I could not justify taking such a long maturity bond in most companies, especially not one subject to an ever-changing landscape, said Alex Ralph, co-portfolio manager of Ned Group Investments Global Strategic Bond Fund. So we'll see what happens. Canadians in Cuba are waiting for flights home as an energy crisis worsens in the nation amid a U.S. oil blockade. Major Canadian airlines have already suspended service to Cuba, but confirmed they plan to bring travelers back home. Calgary-based WestJet says its decision to wind down winter operations will affect WestJet, Sunwing Vacations, WestJet Vacations, and Vacances WestJet Quebec. No word on the financial impact on the companies. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Time for your morning mystery. Let's get right to it. 3 clues for you to play along at home with us. Clue number 1, in 1987, romantic comedy movie based on a book written by William Goldman in 1973. Max and Valerie, played by Billy Crystal and Carol Kane, are named after Goldman's parents. Goldman said Carrie Fisher was the ideal choice for Buttercup, but Robin Wright got the role. It's a movie.
As you wish.
You guys can't call me young on this one because I know it.
Oh, JD's still writing. Hold on. There he is. Princess Bride? Is that the right answer? That is the right answer. The Princess Bride.
Be Buttercup? Yeah.
Andre the Giant was in that. That's today's morning mystery. Let's get to your school day forecast in just a moment.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
School Day Forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina or Saskatoon, we're at -8 with low winds and just a few clouds up in the sky. By lunchtime in Regina, -1, warming up by final bell to that expected high of 3 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. In Saskatoon, by lunchtime, sitting at -6, and by final bell up to -3. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common price, $127.9. The lowest you might find is $102.9. In Saskatoon, common price $125.9, and the lowest you might find is $114.9. Over to the farm markets now, where we find the street price of canola at $616.53 per ton, and the futures price at $665.70 per ton. Amber Durham wheat now sits at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat is at $253.17 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading up this morning, it's now at 73.66 cents US. After the break, a warning for some travelers to Cuba. Stay with us for the details.
Welcome back to your morning. It is just about 7:30. We begin with Canada's major airlines suspending service to Cuba as the island warns of a fuel shortage.
By the typical definition of what we think of as a failed state, Cuba is sort of on the cusp of it.
The move comes as Cuba experiences its worst economic crisis in nearly 70 years. WestJet, Air Transat, and Air Canada are suspending all flights to the Caribbean island. All three airlines say they have contingency plans to get Canadians home. For decades, Venezuela has been the primary source of oil for Cuba. That source was cut off when the United States captured Venezuela's president in January. That's when U.S. President Donald Trump said he would impose tariffs on any country that sells or provides oil to Cuba. A Regina judge has ruled there is not enough evidence for the chief of Carry the Kettle Nakota Nation to stand trial. Comes following a preliminary inquiry on Monday. Donovan Mace was there.
A financial crimes case involving the chief of Carry the Kettle Nakota Nation will be going to trial. Scott Tashape was first arrested in March last year following a financial crimes investigation facing multiple charges, including fraud over $5,000, theft over $5,000, money laundering, and breach of trust. The case, the center of a preliminary inquiry, which is a judicial hearing used in serious criminal cases to determine whether the evidence assembled by the Crown against the accused is sufficient to proceed to trial. Now, although the testimony provided during the hearing was given under oath, details and evidence are protected by a publication ban. Judge Lane Wiegers deciding there is enough evidence and Tashape will stand trial for the fraud charge. However, the breach of trust charge has been dismissed, and the chief will now face one count of breach of trust by a public official under a different provision of the criminal code. The theft and money laundering charges have been adjourned to be decided by the Court of King's Bench. Now, this decision does not account to either innocence nor guilt, only that a rightly charged jury could reasonably find a verdict on the basis of the evidence presented during trial. Tashape is now scheduled to appear at the Court of King's Bench next month for pre-trial matters. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
An 18-year-old man has been charged in connection to Saskatoon's first homicide of the year. Last Tuesday, two 25-year-old men went to St. Paul's Hospital to be treated for stab wounds. One man died of his injuries. As of last week, the other was in stable condition. Police say the 18-year-old has been charged with manslaughter and aggravated assault. No other details about the stabbing have been released, and police have not said if they are looking for other suspects. Workers abducted from a mine in Mexico have been found dead. 10 workers were taken last month from a mine site in Sinaloa. This mine is owned and operated by Canadian company Vinsla Silver. It says it's awaiting confirmation from Mexican authorities and will provide further updates as appropriate. It's not clear how many bodies have been found. In January, Global Affairs Canada said it wasn't aware of any Canadians among those abducted. 4 people have been arrested so far. Ghislaine Maxwell has pleaded the fifth, remaining silent in a congressional hearing.
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions.
Maxwell appeared virtually from a Texas prison where she is serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking. She refused to answer questions invoking her Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. But her lawyer later said that she is willing to speak openly and honestly if U.S. President Donald Trump grants her a pardon. Maxwell tried appealing her conviction to the Supreme Court last year but was declined. She's since launched a separate action challenging her conviction, which is still pending. The Canadian Medical Association says doctors are worried their patients are getting bad advice, health advice from artificial intelligence. An online survey conducted by Abacus Data asked over 5,000 Canadians a series of questions about where they get their health information from. Nearly everyone said they go online, mostly because it's quick and easy to access. Half said they look to an AI search result from Google or ChatGPT for information, and around half of them said they get treatment advice from AI. The survey suggested that those who followed the advice were 5 times more likely to report an adverse reaction or negative outcome. The women's and men's sprint finals are happening this morning. Canada only has 3 medals ever in cross country on the ski hill. The women's ski team has finished a downhill portion, and slalom is upcoming. There is the board we meant to show you. Canada has 2 key teams competing, and it's Canada versus the U.S. this afternoon in women's hockey. We are still uncertain if Canadian captain Marie-Philippe Poulin will play after she was hurt in yesterday's matchup against Czechia, qualifying for women's moguls. Also underway right now, where Saskatoon's very own Maya Schwinghammer is competing. We are waiting to hear if Marie-Philippe Poulin will play in this afternoon's game against the USA. She was hit during the first period in yesterday's matchup. She tried to get back up on her own power on the ensuing power play, but the discomfort was obvious, and she left the game with an apparent knee injury. Canada ended up beating Czechia 5-1. Not having Poulin in the lineup would be a big blow for the Canadians as they take on the U.S. She is, of course, a 3-time gold medalist with the club, and she has the most goals of any active player in Olympic women's hockey. Here's an updated medal count for you. A slew of medals coming in. Norway still leads the way with 5 gold. Gold, of course, weighted the heaviest. That's why they're in first. Switzerland in second with 5. That's 3 golds to their count. Italy has shot up to 10 medals, and Canada now adding a silver, now at 3 total. A Prince Albert woman has found a creative way to spend the cold winter months. Jasmine Peltier with How.
Prince Albert resident Nola Lehner says her backyard ice castle is a good place to sit down and enjoy a cup of coffee.
I love being outside. I like the winter. It gets me out of the house.
She says she started working on it in late December, and it took just over a month to complete. She got the idea 3 years ago when a friend showed Lehner a photo of an ice castle she'd found on social media.
She said, Nola, you're pretty crafty and creative. Why don't you build something like this in your backyard? So I thought, why not?
Lehner was up for the challenge and got to building. She's made a castle every year since.
My first one was a little trial and error. Then last year's was a lot of balloons. This year I did kind of blocks.
She doesn't have much experience as an artist, but says she picked up some outdoor skills helping her daughters with Girl Guides. This year's castle is constructed of snow, ice, and food coloring. The blocks were made at home in lasagna pans, and the decorations were made in balloons.
And I fill balloons with water, and that's about it. Set them out on my back deck, let them freeze. The next day I go and mix up slush, snow and water, and in a basin, and I cement them all together.
Lehner plans to keep the tradition going.
It's my holiday project. Well, actually, it's going to be my retirement project because I'm going to retire soon. So, yeah, definitely next year. I don't know how different it's going to be. I usually just fly by the seat of my pants, start putting stuff together.
It looks like this won't be the last of the ice castles. Jasmine Peltier, CTV News, Prince Albert.
All that work, and I feel like it's going to be gone in 2 days.
I know, because everything is melting.
Oh, boy. Let's brighten everybody's spirits and give something away.
Yeah, this week is fun because I get to give away a lot of things. So listen up. Ram Motorsports Spectacular returns to SaskTel Centre in Saskatoon for 3 shows, February 21st and 22nd. We want you to catch all that action. Enter online at ctvregina.ca or ctvsaskatoon.ca for your chance to win a family pack of 4 tickets to catch the show. All right, let's turn turn our attention back over to this morning view. It's brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. In Regina, -8 right now to wake us up. We do have a few clouds to start the day and winds fairly calm coming in right now at 6 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, -8, fairly clear skies right now. We've been seeing those clouds kind of coming and going, and winds again at 6 kilometers per hour. Let's take a look at current temperatures all across the province though, because we are still seeing those colder temperatures way up north. The cold spot still Uranium City, but Stony Rapids at -21. -14 in La Ronge, -11 in Nipawin. A little bit better in Spiritwood and Melfort at -9 this morning. Down towards the south, we're seeing improvements, but still not quite as warm as what we have been seeing in these areas for the past few days. -4 right now in East End, -2 in Assiniboia, -5 in Weyburn, and -5 in Estevan. And if you remember, in the past few days, we've been seeing some positive temperatures already at this time, so it is a cooler start to the day today. Later on in the afternoon, though, we will be seeing those positive numbers. 5 degrees expected for Swift Current. A bit more sunshine expected down in the southwest corner today. 3 degrees for Moose Jaw, 3 degrees for Regina, -3 for Saskatoon, -6 for Prince Albert with that cloud cover, -4 in Yorkton, and 3 degrees expected for Estevan. We are expecting to see just a little bit more of that precipitation today. This is at about 5 p.m. on your screen. Some snow going to be falling in areas just north of Prince Albert there. It's not a large system, and it's not going to be coming with a whole lot of flurries. And then into those overnight hours, we see some more popping up way up north. And as you can see, we were talking about more sunshine expected in that southwest corner, and you can see that pocket there at the bottom of your screen. Let's talk about the rest of your week, though. Temperatures looking really good down towards the south. We are taking that 3-degree temperature into tomorrow with us in Regina, 6 degrees, so doubling that on Thursday. Again, seeing a mix of sun and cloud. 5 degrees on Friday and 1 degree on Sunday. You do see that snow icon. We have been talking about the snow that's likely on the way on Saturday for a while now. It's just that now we see the chance going down. It still exists, but we're keeping an eye on that. -2 tomorrow for Saskatoon, 1 degree on Thursday. Again, a mix of sun and cloud. Winds remaining fairly low for the next few days. 0 degrees on Friday and 0 degrees on Saturday.
The incident happened on January 15, 2026. A victim received a phone call from someone pretending to be an employee from a bank. The person told the victim that their credit card had been compromised and they needed to pick up the card immediately. The suspect then said that they would be sending a courier over to pick up the card. Within a short amount of time, a person dressed as a courier went to the victim's home address and picked up the card. That card was then used at several local businesses to make purchases worth more than $5,000. The suspect is described as a man with white facial hair. He had a black jacket with reflective stripes. He was wearing round metal framed glasses. If you know who this person is, contact Crime Stoppers.
I'm Belton Johnson, board member for Regina Crime Stoppers. Did you know Crime Stoppers would pay up to $2,000 cash rewards for information on this or any other serious crime in Regina? Callers do not have to identify themselves. Calls are not traced or recorded. In Regina, Saskatchewan, and Canada, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. You can also access our website at www.reginacrimestoppers.ca. Remember, our community suffers when you remain silent. Please report crime.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Leak Audiology, helping you live well with better hearing.
Well, if you're hoping to add a furry friend to the family, Bill Thorne can help you out. He's with the Regina Humane Society. It's the cutest part of the week. Who do you have with you this morning, Bill?
I got a little squirm machine here. This is Galia. She's about 8 weeks old and came in with 4 other siblings and mom. Babies are doing fine. Mom was a little underweight, so we're trying to put some weight back onto her. Hopefully she'll be available for adoption shortly too, but the 4 are up. This one is black and white in color. The other are brown, actually. And but she is a little bit unique, and I think would make a wonderful, wonderful pet for anyone who's looking to bring a puppy into their home.
Oh, she is absolutely adorable. Yeah, get nice and close to the camera there. Good morning, Galia. Oh my goodness, she's beautiful. For people who are maybe interested, but they're thinking, hey, I got to get the training in, you guys also have some classes that could help.
Yeah, we do. Our March and April classes are available for registration right now. And a great way to especially if you're bringing a new pet in, to get off on the right foot or the right paw, as you might say. Even we have our puppy play and learn for little ones like this. And that can really help to make things go really smoothly, or at least better. Puppies do need some training, but any pet, has to have some boundaries and places they can go and things they can play with, places they can scratch for cats and that kind of thing. So always a good idea to get on the same page with your pet. And those dog training classes are a great way to do that. You can register easily online through our website.
All right, a fantastic idea there. Bill, as we know, Valentine's Day is coming up at the end of this week. Some people might not be prepared yet, but you can help them out.
Well, if you're anything like me, I always leave it to the last minute and then, what am I going to do? So we do have our e-cards available for not only Valentine's, but other occasions as well, birthdays and anniversaries and such. You can get those through our website too. It's an easy way, very quick. You can customize a card for your Valentine and have that sent off. And not only tell them how you feel about your Valentine, but also help the animals here at the shelter as well. And you can go on our website to get those.
Regina Humane Society also participating in those Unity sweepstakes. Let's remind our viewers how they could win some cash.
Yeah, you betcha. This month you can win up to $50,000, $10,000 in the grand prize, and $40,000 extra perhaps in the final flip that happens. And the Unity Sweepstakes helps the Regina Humane Society, but also I think it's about 14 or other charities across Saskatchewan as well. So if you're interested in doing that, it's a great way to help your favorite charity and the animals in our case as well.
All right, Bill, thank you so much for your time this morning, and we wish Galia the best of luck on her journey to her forever home.
You betcha. Have a great day.
Here's what's happening in our community. On Valentine's Day, there's a tea and bake sale at 2 p.m. out in Kenora at 201 4th Avenue. Admission $6. A steak night and dance on February 14th at 6 p.m. at the Welwyn Rink out in Welwyn. For tickets, call 306-434-6999. Valentine's Day dance on February 14th, 7:30 p.m. at the Hazeldale Community Center. Call 306-547-4284 for more. If you'd like your event featured here, all you got to do is email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca, at least 2 weeks in advance.
It's February 10th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a belated happy birthday wish going out to Sienna. She's now officially a 14-year-old. We hope your day was amazing. Lots of love from your mom and dad. Celebrating today is Noah. He's turning 15 years old. Have a great day with lots of love from your mom, Devin, Caden, and the cats. And this is a big one, a huge happy birthday going out to Dorothy Bast on her 100th birthday today. She is a beloved mom, grandma, and great-grandma who is always achieving new heights. Dorothy, your family loves you so much. Enjoy your day. And finally, an anniversary wish to share with you. Bob and Lillian marking 60 years of marriage today. Much love from your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, as well as your extended family and friends. We hope you have a wonderful day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Well, it's not quite golf weather yet, but Janelle Lippi is out at Echo Valley this morning practicing her swing.
Good morning. Shelly and I have made it down to the indoor golf simulator. As you can see, we are gearing up. But before we give you a little demonstration of what that could look like, I've got a little bit more to talk about. So Shelly, tell me exactly where we are. How can people access this location?
Sounds good, Janelle. We are actually at Echo Ridge Golf Course. So it's a little known fact that Echo Ridge, located just outside of Fort Qu'Appelle, is actually on provincial park land. So they are a lessee to the province and one that we love working with. It's a great facility.
And a beautiful drive down, might I add. Now, Now, Family Day is coming up. What do you guys have on the schedule for that?
So Family Day is always a busy time in park, and we've got our interpretive staff that are going to be coming out on the 14th, 15th, and 16th. I've had a look at their programming. It is going to be great for kids as well as adults. They've got some geocaching happening. They've got snowshoes that are going to be taking place. They're going to do a learn to Nordic ski. So truly, there's something for everyone.
Lots of fun is to be had. You won't want to miss out on that. Should we get golfing now?
I think we really should.
I think so too. All right, let's take her for a spin here.
Okay, I'll hold the mic if
All
you
right.
take the first shot.
This isn't going to be great. And that was a practice, just a practice swing.
Absolutely.
Warming up.
Nope, that's fine. Very nice, very nice.
That wasn't too bad.
No, it was
I'm okay
pretty
with
good.
that. I'm okay with that. All right.
Okay.
Take her for a spin, Shelly.
Okay, we'll get you the back up behind the line.
Okay. You win.
And we're off.
And Shelly won. All right, well, it was great to be down here playing golf with you. We will be back soon. We've got a sauna coming up.
Chase, how's it going over there?
Things are going good over here. We're trying to find who has the most random thing in their vehicle this morning as well. You can join the conversation on our Facebook page. Found out that about a third of people would be embarrassed if someone they knew actually looked in their vehicle right now. And about a fifth have food on the floor currently in their vehicle, and not like some crumbs or just a little leftovers, like full on food in there. So yeah, it might be time to clean it out, but you can join the conversation on our Facebook page. Also get ready after 8:30 this morning. We got some tickets for Wine in Wascana to give away, and we're going to be doing that with grocery bills. So it's kind of Price is Right rules. I'll read you 3 items, and you tell me how much they cost, and that could win you some tickets if you're the closest to without going over.
We were trying to think of the weirdest, and food's not weird because kids, right? But Kayleen says she has a plastic bird's nest in your toy.
Are you trying to attract like real birds, or?
I have questions. So many questions.
Baby Yoda is coming to the big screen in The Mandalorian and Grogu. A new trailer aired for the film starring Pedro Pascal and directed by Jon Favreau is set to release on May 22nd. Lucasfilm is owned by Disney, parent company of ABC News. We have our first teaser for season 22 of The Bachelorette, featuring the secret lives of Mormon wives star Taylor Frankie Paul. The new season is set to premiere on ABC on March 22nd, with episodes streaming the next day on Hulu. Disney is the parent company of ABC News, ABC, and Hulu. Noah Kahan's The Great Divide has debuted at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. The single marks Kahan's first Hot 100 debut in the top 10. Kahan's new album, The Great Divide, is set to release on April 24th, and his new tour is set to launch in June. And happy birthday to Laura Dern, who is 59 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A bit of a fashion.
What do you got for us?
Me? All
Besides
right, let's
bird
go.
nests.
Here's a long distance traveler that scores big.
Love me, love me.
We took a look at this one last hour. We just had to show it again because I think this is one of my favorite sidebars ever. He's so happy. He's just going for it. He's going for his dreams. He shoots and
Needs one of those long sports announcers thing. He could go all the way.
Like, he's so good. And then also he runs over to his dad and he gets the high five, and it's just one of those moments that he's going to remember.
Wait till he makes the NBA or something. We're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Remember
when. This video will be gold then.
Gold then. Let's get over to a woman who was told to dress in her most expensive outfit for a night out.
They say it so loud.
looks different when your wife loves the great outdoors. Allison didn't think twice when she was told to put on her most costly clothes, so she grabbed a layer of ski gear and an axe just to, round out the outfit. Helmet.
It's designer labels.
Maybe they're going mountain climbing. Maybe this is a perfect.
I hope they're Canadian.
I hope she actually wore that out and it's not just an influencer video. I want to see the part where they're in the fancy restaurant ordering wine and she's got the helmet on.
Yeah, are you impressed by my ski suit?
The maitre d' is like, can I take your jacket and helmet, ma'am? It's Tuesday, February 10th.
He says negotiations are going to restart. Remember, he killed negotiations with Canada on a sectoral basis, on any basis at the end of October.
U.S. President Donald Trump threatening to block the opening of a new bridge between Windsor and Detroit. We'll have political reaction coming up.
We came to Cuba knowing what to expect. There's some things you'll have every day, some things you won't.
Contingency plans to get Canadians home because airlines suspend flights to Cuba.
When fishing's really, really full of action, this is what we do to pass the time.
For the University of Regina is competing and data collecting at the same time. We'll tell you about hard water havoc. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Thank you for starting your morning with us.
So you were right on a number of your Super Bowl prop bets. You were not right on Bad Bunny did not show a nipple, so you're right there.
Yes.
What were you incorrect on? Do you remember?
I was incorrect on that guy coming barefoot. Who shows up
Matt
barefoot?
Collins. That's what it was. Matt Collins.
The Super Bowl.
Not only did he show up barefoot, he showed up barefoot with his ankles handcuffed together for some reason.
Yeah, and I saw, you sent the photo to me, and I thought, there's no way. This has to be AI or something. There's no way. And then I looked it up. It was real, and I got it wrong.
Matt Collins has an Instagram feed or a TikTok feed where he does Mac hacks, and it's just daily around the house. Welcome to Mac Hacks.
All right.
He's an interesting dude. Let's get over to the news. Weather forecast is coming up. U.S. President Donald Trump has issued a new warning to Canada, as we mentioned off the top, threatening to block the opening of a new bridge linking Detroit and Windsor. The Gordie Howe Bridge is set to open this year. The U.S. president now says the U.S. should own at least half of it and be compensated. It was a very long social media post where he said he will not allow the bridge to open until the U.S. is fully compensated for everything we've given them and a whole bunch of things about respect that he feels we don't give them. The U.S. president is claiming Canada built the bridge with no input from the U.S., something Windsor's mayor disagrees with.
He's volatile, he creates uncertainty, and he doesn't mind lying to the public. And that's exactly what he's done here. Because at the end of the day, there's been thousands of hours of labor from residents in the state of Michigan and United States citizens who helped build their particular half. Steel from the United States went into their particular half. And so we truly are partners in this construction.
President Trump also claimed in the Post that Canada owns both the Canadian and U.S. sides of the bridge. However, the bridge is publicly owned by both Canada and the state of Michigan. Canada funded the entire project under the agreement. Once the costs are fully recouped, toll revenue will be shared with the state of Michigan. Ukrainians living in Saskatchewan are calling on the province to reverse some recent immigration changes. In January, the province only allowed workers in certain industries to apply for permanent status if their workers' permit was expiring in 6 months or less. Following new immigration policies from Ottawa, the province capped retail, trucking, and other sectors that would typically use a disproportionate amount of allotted immigration spaces and only allow applications during specified periods. Ukrainians feel they're unnecessarily and unfairly caught in the bureaucracy.
It makes me feel upset because you never know what's going to be happen tomorrow.
It seems quite unfair to sort of change that when somebody's sort of partway through that process and has already sort of put down roots, and now they're not sure when and if they'll be able to get permanent residency here.
CTV has reached out to the province about any potential changes to the program moving forward. We have yet to hear from them. Some residents of Regina Senior Housing say they don't feel safe in their own buildings. They say strangers are wandering the hallways, and in one instance, a makeshift harpoon was found. The buildings are owned by the province and operated by Regina Housing. The seniors say there should be on-site security guards and video cameras.
guests of the tenants are roaming around all hours of the night. One was found sleeping in the laundry room just lately. The tenants don't feel safe in our building when we have people outsiders walking around in our building, in and out of the building.
The provincial government is aware of the seniors' concerns and is preparing a statement in response. Trial for a woman accused of assaulting residents at a Wilkie group home got underway yesterday. Jeremy Dodge is following this for us. Jeremy, this starts with a warning, of course.
Yeah, Daryl, some of the details in this story are disturbing. The 38-year-old Jacqueline Elias is on trial in North Battleford, charged with multiple counts of assault and sexual assault, and one count of sexual assault with a weapon and uttering threats. RCMP charged Elias in February 2024, alleging the incidents occurred between January 2023 and February 2024 and involved 4 residents. Court heard the group home residents were all nonverbal and in wheelchairs. Her former co-worker testified. Elias would put her breasts in the faces of some residents and called them perverts. The co-worker also testified Elias poked a resident in the groin with a stick while making a sexual comment. The Crown is expected to call a total of 4 witnesses. Now, a word of caution if you're heading out for a stroll in Saskatoon, because crews were out chipping ice from downtown sidewalks yesterday, helping to make things less slick. Weekend rain followed by snow, leaving us with slippery conditions. City crews were out de-icing the streets, but sidewalks, walkways, driveways might still be icy. People are reminded to be careful. Daryl, the Regina Police Service getting some cash.
$1.7 million, Jeremy. The funding is part of the Safer Communities and Neighborhoods Enforcement Initiative. $6 million going across the province, $1.7 for RPS. It'll go to recruiting and retaining about 27 officers. The province feels the money will help improve frontline policing and response times.
Crime is complex, more complex than ever. We are responding to more calls than we ever have, and so we need to increase that resourcing in order to respond effectively. But yeah, absolutely, that's, their primary is 911 call response. We have expectations from the community that we're able to get to those emergencies in a timely manner, and we need to be adequately staffed to be able to do that.
For more of this,
the initiative was first introduced in the fall of 2024. A new poll shows the majority of Albertans want to remain a part of Canada. The survey results come as a push to force a referendum on Alberta independence continues, with stops all over that province. Jordan Canagan reports.
Lineups are long and many signatures are being gathered, but support for Alberta to separate from Canada doesn't appear to be widespread.
It's the intensity factor here that I think really stands out. Right now, the intensity is with the stay side as opposed to the leave side.
The Angus Reid Institute polled 979 Albertans online from February 2nd to the 6th. It found 29% of people would vote for Alberta independence, while 65% would vote to stay in Canada.
That number is 7 times larger than the number of Albertans who say they would definitely vote to leave.
But those pushing for an independent Alberta say it's time to break free from federal policies they say are harmful and gain full control of the province's resources.
My response is that it's a phony poll. The mood in Alberta and what's going on in Alberta is what's being demonstrated by all of the events and signings, the signing events.
Rath suggests some of that support is coming from those within the provincial government, but says UCP MLAs are being muzzled.
We want to make sure that Ottawa pays attention to Alberta, that Ottawa hears Albertans, but we are supporting United Alberta within United Canada.
Those against leaving worry about the province being landlocked and losing key Canadian programs and infrastructure.
I think there's no need to separate Canada, as great as it is, and I love Canada.
I really don't think it's good because we support everybody in Alberta. Alberta supports most of Canada with workers, oil, whatnot.
There's 70% people that don't think it's a right idea, but they don't like it. There's BC. There's, move out there if you want.
A new report by the Canadian Climate Institute is calling for better climate proofing for infrastructure. The report sheds light on the impact hotter weather and heavy rainfall is having on everything from roads to storm pipes and why governments should be proactive. Tyler Barrow reports.
The heat can have more severe impacts than a sunburn. And a torrential downpour can lead to more trouble than backed up traffic. A new report by the Canadian Climate Institute is calling for proactive measures to climate-proof infrastructure.
It's these chronic stresses from heat and heavy rainfall that are deteriorating infrastructure everywhere across the country.
NAS points to intense rainfall leading to stormwater pipes exceeding capacity. Dramatic fluctuations in temperatures affect roads, impacting cities across the country.
Might be using more heat-resistant pavements or materials for road beds that better tolerate being saturated more often by intense rainfall.
The report's analysis showed these and other climate proofing represent a 2.5% increase to what governments are currently spending on infrastructure. But spending more now could result in $10 billion in savings in infrastructure maintenance and replacements down the road. The head of the City of Calgary's climate adaptation points to the impacts the 2013 floods and 2024 hailstorm had on the city's infrastructure, adding, extreme weather also increases the city's operating costs and maintenance expenses while disrupting services for Calgarians. With the frequency and severity of these events increasing in the future, we anticipate that our changing climate will increase future capital and operating costs for city-owned public infrastructure. One expert we spoke with says the city is conscious of the issue.
We have to change the way we build. We have to change the codes to which we build. We have to consider new construction materials as well.
Since working infrastructure can have broad economic benefits.
Operational when it's needed, it means that businesses can keep functioning, people can get to work, supply chains remain intact.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
WestJet expanding its offering of flights to Atlantic Canada. From late April until early October, WestJet flights from Saskatoon and Regina to Halifax will run twice a week. It used to run once a week. This is good news. The airline says the expansion in both frequency and dates is because of your popular demand after flights from Atlantic Canada and to Atlantic Canada from Saskatchewan's major cities began last year. Fans are getting to step inside the world of Wuthering Heights.
I'm stood at the front door of our Wuthering Heights. It's based in Northern England, up in the Yorkshire Moors. We've created this environment for the action to take place as if we're in a farmyard. There's always some sort of...
The film's production designer, Susie Davis, gives a behind-the-scenes tour of Heathcliff's Gothic home, and it's built entirely on a soundstage, but it looks like and feels like the late 18th century. Wuthering Heights is out in theaters this Friday. All right, we get over to the Weather Center. We talk about that morning view. It's less frosty than it used to be. It's actually nice out there.
Yeah, and the days are getting longer. We're starting to see the sun come up a little bit earlier, so that's nice. The morning view is brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. Temperature is also not so bad to start the day. A little bit cooler across the province than what we have been seeing in the past few days, but still not so bad. -9 right now in Regina. We've been seeing the clouds kind of coming and going right now. We are seeing some very light cloud cover and winds coming in at 7 kilometers per hour for both of Saskatchewan's major cities. Saskatoon also at -9, and again a few clouds to start the day. Let's take a look at this futurecast though. We are going to be seeing just a few flakes in Saskatchewan today, and the area is just north of Prince Albert there. As you can see, a low chance that Prince Albert sees just the corner of that, and then into the evening hours we see that sort of pushing away into Manitoba. A few more flakes though popping up way up north, as you can see. Today's forecast with the temperatures looking pretty good. 5 degrees for Swift Current, 4 degrees now expected for Moose Jaw. Those numbers are both up from where we originally projected them to be earlier on this morning, so that's good news. 3 degrees in Weyburn and 4 degrees expected for Estevan. A bit cooler through the central and northern zones though. Yorkton -5, Saskatoon expecting -3, and Prince Albert expecting -6. We did reach some temperature records for February 8th. This was Super Bowl Sunday. Environment Canada just releasing these numbers. There's 6 places we're going to focus in on. Coronach reached 10.6 degrees. That beat out the previous record from 1996. Estevan, 7.6, beating the record from 1945. Moose Jaw, 10.2. That was only 0.2 degrees above that record from 1954. And Regina beat out their previous record of 5.6 in 1945 by reaching 5.8 on Super Bowl Sunday. Rockland, 8.7. That beat out the previous record of 7.2 from 1976. And Weyburn, 10.5. That beat out the previous record from 1996. Let's take a look at the rest of your week. Looking pretty good down towards the south. 3 degrees tomorrow, 6 degrees on Thursday, 5 degrees on Friday, and 1 degree on Saturday. You are going to be seeing that snow icon on Saturday for both Regina and Saskatoon, although I will let you know the chances of that happening has been going down. We're keeping an eye on it, but for right now, we're still expecting a few light flakes on that day. -2 tomorrow in Saskatoon, 1 degree on Thursday, and 0 degrees for Friday and Saturday.
This day in history, February 10th, 1763, France signed the Treaty of Paris, ending the 7 Years' War and ceding control over Canada to Britain. February 10th, 2014, Alexandre Bilodeau and Michael Kingsbury won Olympic gold and silver in freestyle skiing men's moguls in Sochi. February 10th, 2014, I'm going to do it again, Kayleen. Charles Hamelin won Olympic gold in short track speed skating in the men's 1500 in Sochi. She loves when I speak French.
Well, I'm just like, why the accent?
So good. So good.
My wife's
All right, we've got another kind of sporting event to tell you about this morning. This one took place in Estonia over the weekend. Hundreds of people came out for the annual European Sauna Marathon. Turns the traditional Nordic pastime into a competition with a carnival-like atmosphere. The goal is for teams of 4 to race to as many local saunas in the fastest time. So there are 21 different saunas taking part. Participants had to spend at least 3 minutes inside each one. So that's a long activity. Looks like interesting. I know saunas are like a lifestyle in that part of the world. So.
I love a good sauna. I just want to sit in one and not race to any others.
Last one kind of looked like a hot tub.
Yeah.
Question of the day, in your opinion,
when I tell you two that we will not have time for as many answers as we got in today, oh my goodness, Saskatchewan is awake this morning. Thank you for your answers. Becca saying, I have a few favorites. Schitt's Creek, Mom, Bob's Burgers, The Golden Girls, Young Sheldon, and The Last Man Standing. Three's Company coming in from Kim. Over to another answer from, we don't know, Modern Family, anonymous answer there. We had Nathan saying King of Queens, incredibly underrated. Honorable mention to Everybody Loves Raymond. Some more answers coming in. We got to fire them off quick because there's so many. Donna saying MASH and Lori saying Seinfeld for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah, a lot of answers coming in saying Seinfeld. Couldn't get to all of them. Over to Corner Gas. Wish it was still airing. Debbie saying a few of my favorites have already shown up, so I'm going to add Bewitched. I think that's a really good answer.
Excellent.
That's a good one. Phil saying really liked Home Improvement, and Dawn saying Corner Gas, of course. A few other ones that we still have time for. I think Sherry saying Everybody Loves Raymond. Another one coming in saying I always loved Frasier. Do love another new favorite, Big Bang Theory. Both have wonderful casts, good writing, and great acting. We had Shane saying Roseanne or Cheers were my favorites back when I was in control of the remote. Soap is my very favorite sitcom coming in from Barb.
Boy, oh boy, you weren't kidding.
No, I was not kidding. Oh, and now we're sharing some other answers from last hour as well. So Big Bang Theory and the Beverly Hillbillies. So thank you so much for participating a lot in today's question of the day. We're back right after this.
A stroke is a medical emergency that interrupts blood flow to the brain, causing brain cells to be damaged or die. And while the older you are, the higher the risk, a stroke can happen to just about anyone. Mick Favel has more.
A 27-year-old nursing student from Weyburn is currently in hospital recovering from a life-altering stroke. 3 weeks ago, Shanice Austria woke up unable to use the left side of her body. She couldn't speak or get out of bed.
And the doctor came and told me that it's a very, very bad one, and it's a very rare one. It's just, I said, like, can we have it prevented it before it's happening? And he said no.
Austria is a practical nursing student at Southwest College who was scheduled to graduate in June. According to one of her instructors, she is a hardworking and vibrant student. Her current absence has not only impacted her peers, but those teaching Austria as well.
We're trying to teach them to try and make a difference in our healthcare system. We're never expecting for one of them to kind of take the role as a patient, helping the other students kind of process some things, with negative things that can happen in our profession, has been something that we've just had to process as a group.
Around the time of her stroke, Austria was dealing with a severe headache, one of the warning signs of a stroke, but she brushed it off due to her history of headaches. Other signs of a stroke can visibly be seen.
Facial drooping and weakness on one side of the body, slurred speech. And if any of those are noticed in someone that you're around, your family, friends, coworkers, call 911.
For those experiencing a stroke, time is everything, and Austria says not to ignore the signs.
Even like a tiniest symptoms, just go, because you never know that this will happen. Because I always dismiss this. Strokes is like now that I didn't even know that stroke can strike anyone, regardless of age or gender.
Austria is taking her rehabilitation one day at a time. Meanwhile, a fundraising page has been set up for her as she is a primary provider for her family. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
The Canadian Medical Association says doctors are worried their patients are getting bad health advice from artificial intelligence. An online survey conducted by Abacus Data asked over 5,000 Canadians a series of questions about where they get their health information. Nearly everyone said they go online, mostly because it's quick, easy to access. Half said they look to an AI search result from Google or ChatGPT for information, and around half said they get treatment advice from AI. And the survey suggests that those who followed that advice 5 times more likely to report an adverse reaction or negative outcome. Health Canada has announced a recall of some blood pressure medication. They say 2 lots of maramlodipine 5 milligram tablets being recalled, as some bottles may contain the wrong drug. It's usually used to treat high blood pressure and chest pain. But Health Canada says the manufacturer inadvertently put medication to treat low blood pressure in some of the bottles. The correct tablets have 8 sides, are white to off-white in color, and have the numbers 2, 10, and 5 printed on them.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
All right, here we are at JB's Sausage one more time with Dorothy Garlow and Brody Crozier. And we are right into the mix of it, right in the crux of it, the sausage part of JB's Sausage. Dorothy, what do we got going on?
We're just going to give a little bit of a demo today. A lot of people ask, what is the best way to twist collagen? Or when you're making snack sticks, they say they twist one way and it comes undone when they twist their next one. So I am by no means an expert at this, but Brody is. He has done a ton. So what we're going to do is we're going to get him to give a little bit of a demo today.
Okay, perfect. Well, without further ado, where do we begin? What do we got already loaded in there?
So we got some honey garlic pepperette thrown in here. And then we got some collagen casing already loaded up. And that's just beef, pork, and elk? Or is it just beef and pork?
Beef and pork today.
Sure, sounds good. Awesome. So we're just going to start. The secret with collagen casing is to not overfill it. Basically, just fill it until these wrinkles go away, and that's about it. Dorothy's going at a good pace, so that's good. And Yeah, then I'm going to show you how to twist it afterwards. Another thing with collagen casing is that they do not like getting wet on the outside, so please refrain from doing that. If your table is wet, dry it off, because it's very, very important. I think that's enough?
About halfway done, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So that's good.
Yeah, sure, sounds good. So I will show you how to twist them here. So this is what I do. You can always tighten them up afterwards, so see how they're nice and snug there? Yep. So you're going to measure your first one, and you're not going to twist yet. What you're going to do is you measure your second one, and then you twist the second stick.
Okay, and so that's going to prevent it from untwisting on you?
The real secret to stop it from untwisting later is to leave it like this overnight. Yeah, because that will, the meat will set in the casing afterwards, and the in-between parts that you are twisting, like these bits here, will dry out a little bit, and that will keep it all together. Now, it's been a little bit since I've done it, so my measurements are off, but that's okay.
And we've thrown the element of television right into the mix, too. So nobody's judging you on it. But that's a really good indication. So it's every second one that you're twisting?
Yeah, every second one. And that's that. Look at that.
Look at that. Look how simple does that look like? And obviously, you can watch this segment again on our YouTube channel. That's a good way to really kind of perfect it. But it is that simple, and it is such a, as you were saying, a very, very commonly asked question.
Yeah, like when you're making coils, it's easy. You can make it whatever length you want. You roll it up, you put it in your vac seal bag. When it comes to sticks, people really want them to look pretty or like store-bought, so to speak. So this is the best way to do it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys very much. jbsausage.ca.
Good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday. We begin with an 18-year-old man being charged in Saskatoon in connection to the first homicide of the year. Last Tuesday, two 25-year-old men went to St. Paul's Hospital to be treated for stab wounds. One of the men died of his injuries. As of last week, the other was listed in stable condition. Police say the 18-year-old is now charged with manslaughter and aggravated assault. No other details about the stabbings have been released, and police say they have not said, if they are looking for other suspects in the case. This morning, the official cause of death revealed for Emmy Award-winning actress and Canadian Catherine O'Hara, who died January 30th.
This morning, the official cause of death revealed for Emmy Award-winning actress Catherine O'Hara, who died January 30th. In a death certificate obtained by ABC News, the medical examiner disclosing the 71-year-old died from a pulmonary embolism, which occurs when a blood clot blocks blood flow to an artery in the lungs. The death certificate also listing rectal cancer as an underlying secondary cause.
People with colorectal cancer have a 4 to 7 times higher risk of having a pulmonary embolus. And this risk is highest during the first 3 to 6 months after diagnosis and during chemotherapy.
Inflammation from cancer can put patients at an increased risk for developing blood clots. Reduced mobility, dehydration, and chemotherapy can also play a role.
It leads you to be having more of an inflammatory state, and that inflammation can injure the lining of the blood vessels, so the blood doesn't flow as smoothly through as we normally do.
Oh, Kevin, I'm so sorry. From Kevin's mom in the movie Home Alone, who left him not once, but twice. Oh, dear God. I know where he is. To Moira Rose in the TV show about that famous creek.
Be careful, John, lest you suffer vertigo from the dizzying heights of your moral ground.
Catherine O'Hara infused her roles with comedy, bringing to life quirky characters with lots of heart, winning an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy in 2020.
And though these are the strangest of days, may you have as much joy being holed up in a room or two with your family as I had with my dear Roses. Thank you so much.
O'Hara's death surprising many in Hollywood. Doctors say that while colon cancer screening has improved significantly, recognizing early warning signs still starts at home.
Rectal bleeding is an abnormal sign. If you have weight loss, if you have change in bowel habits, also your appetite is decreasing. Those are some of the things that you want to make sure that you get checked out.
A desperate escape from a horrific house fire caught on camera. CTV News has obtained video of a harrowing scene as residents of a Winnipeg home tried to escape the inferno. 5 people rushed to hospital, only 3 survived. Jeff Keel reports.
In this terrifying video from a fatal house fire Saturday, you can see someone trapped on the roof of the porch, unable to move because of the raging flames, as firefighters grab a ladder. And at the bottom of the screen, another person who appears to be naked collapses in the snow.
Come by, see the house is burning down. Oh my God.
Fire crews responded to the blaze on the 300 block of Agnes Street just before 10 Saturday morning. Pictures show the fire spreading before crews arrive.
Pretty bad though. It was like that was a fierce fire going on in there.
7 people were treated by paramedics. Of those, 3 were sent to hospital in critical condition. While 1 was upgraded to stable, 2 people later died, an 18-year-old woman and a 48-year-old woman. Flowers have been left at the site in memory of the 18-year-old.
As soon as I opened my door, there's like a cloud of smoke hit me like a brick wall.
Neighbor Samantha Nicoluk believes she saw the 18-year-old in a top-floor window.
She was yelling, "Help me." Oh, just the thought of it.
Nicoluk says she provided jackets and clothing for many of the victims from the home as they had little on. A news release from the city says firefighters switched between offensive and defensive strategies to battle the fire depending on the conditions. By 2:30 in the afternoon, the fire was deemed under control. Nicoluk says the residents have been placed at a downtown hotel with the Red Cross providing assistance.
I just got back from seeing them. They're not doing too good. You know, they're in a hotel and they got a couple checks, but you know, what is that compared to losing everything?
More incredible videos to show you of this one, a small plane making an emergency landing on a street in Georgia. The pilot was not sure he was going to survive the landing, sending messages of love to his wife and parents before the risky touchdown. Here's Sam Champion.
Hey, are you sleeping? A plane just crashed on the road.
This morning, an incredible survival story. Watch this single-engine plane with 2 pilots on board experiencing engine issues shortly after takeoff, making an emergency landing on a busy roadway in Gainesville, Georgia.
Gainesville traffic, mayday, mayday, mayday.
One of the pilots fearing they wouldn't make it, sending this message to his wife and family.
Okay, we're not going to make it. Please tell my wife, Molly, I love her, and my parents. I love them so much.
Watch as the plane takes out all the yellow road dividers and strikes 3 vehicles. Its fuel tank dislodging. But somehow everyone on board and on the ground surviving, only suffering minor injuries.
The fact that this plane came down, did not strike any power poles, any power lines, and only hit 3 vehicles is absolutely remarkable.
Canada won its first silver at the 2026 Winter Olympic Games. Team Canada skated to second in the team mixed relay short track speed skating, bringing our country's total medal count to 3. Kim Boutin, Courtney Sarot, William Dandino, and Felix Roussel sped to victory. Canadian speed skaters Florence Brunel and Stephen Dubois competed in earlier rounds and will also get medals. This is Canada's first ever medal in the mixed relay. Big deal. It's also Bhutan's 5th Olympic medal in her career, making her Canada's most decorated female short track speed skater. And here's a look at the updated medal count. My Norwegians continue to lead, 6 gold medals, 11 total to their name. Of course, gold is the demarcation line. That is why we see Switzerland in second with 5 medals, 3 of those gold. Austria with 2. Canadians, of course, have 3 medals. There are other countries with more medals total, but gold is the weight by the IOC. Let's get over to the Weather Center and let's bring in Kayleen Sawatsky for a look at our forecast. It looks beautiful out there for frost this weekend. It looks like it's trending towards that again.
Yeah, we are seeing some awesome temperatures in the south. Central Saskatchewan a little bit cooler, but still not so bad. Take a look at this morning view. It's brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. -9 to wake us up in Regina. We do have a few clouds in the area. Winds, though, they are much lower this morning than what we saw yesterday, and that is going to remain a trend into the afternoon with those low wind speeds really all across the province. -9 to wake us up in Saskatoon. Saskatoon as well, and also seeing just a few clouds to start the day. Let's take a look at those current temperatures. Stony Rapids has now officially dethroned Uranium City as being Saskatchewan's cold spot this hour. They're now at -22, -14 in La Ronge, -8 in Prince Albert, and -13 in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, seeing temperatures a little bit cooler than what we saw in the past couple days, but still not so bad. A mild start to the day. -2 in Assiniboia, -2 in Swift Current, and -5 over in Estevan. Later on into the afternoon, again, seeing temperatures that are above the seasonal average down towards the south, but central and northern Saskatchewan still seeing those temperatures into those negatives. -3 for Saskatoon, -6 for Prince Albert with that cloud cover, and -2 for the Battlefords. Prince Albert not expecting to see those flurries today like we have been seeing in previous days. However, some areas north of Prince Albert will likely be seeing those flurries, and we're going to take a look at that on our screen there. So you can see it almost touches Prince Albert. It just barely misses it. Kind of fluctuates in size. About 5:45 p.m. It's very small. It's in an area northeast of Prince Albert there, and then it's going to be pushing off into Manitoba overnight. We see a few flakes way up north, as you can barely see on your screen there, and then a lot of sunshine expected down in the southwest corner. Everywhere else seeing a mix of sun and cloud. Let's take a look now at this 5-day forecast. 3 degrees, as we mentioned, for Regina today, but staying at that temperature tomorrow. Again, seeing winds remain low, so it's going to be a pretty ideal couple of days, and then up to 6 degrees on Thursday, dropping ever so slightly to 5 degrees on Friday, and then 1 degree on Saturday. You do see that snow icon as of now. However, the chance of seeing those flakes has been going down. We'll keep you updated on that. -3 today for Saskatoon, -2 tomorrow, up to 1 degree on Thursday, 0 degrees on Friday, 0 degrees on Saturday. Again, the chance of seeing those flakes rapidly going down. Here's one final look outside to end off your morning. Again, a mild start to the day, very calm. Calm is the word of the day for the Weather Center today. A beautiful, picturesque start to the day in Saskatchewan.
University of Regina is currently 3rd place with 381 points in their division of the Hard Water Havoc competition. It's a Canada-U.S. collegiate ice fishing competition that blends outdoor sport with real-world fisheries science. Chris Summers is a professor at the University of Regina. Zach Eltrom is the captain of the Regina team. Thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with us off the water. Chris, let's start with you. How is this ice fishing event different than any other?
Good morning. This ice fishing event is different in that it pitches university against university, college against college, and the idea is for us to learn something while we're out on the water having fun.
Zach, aside from trying to reel in the big one, take the picture with the big, and we're seeing some of the in-between fun here as you guys get loose in between catches. What is your team trying to learn?
Our team is trying to help gather a lot of data that can be used for whole variety of projects, and all this data can be shared between universities or teams that are trying to learn anything. So we're creating a larger data set that can be used across fishery science.
Chris, strong showing so far. We read the stats off the beginning so far, so there must be a special mentorship bond that you guys have created here.
Yeah, well, my research program is on fish, and I love fish. I wear fish clothing, and I follow fish around all the time. And this is a chance for university students to get out there and actually experience fish in their natural environment, and for me to foster that interest.
Zach, what are you fishing? What are you trying to catch? When does this competition end? And what exactly are you trying to win here?
This competition goes until next Friday. It's a 6-week long tournament, and there's points for all kinds of varieties of fish. So right now I'm trying to catch as many different kinds of fish as I can. As the U of R is doing really well in terms of fish size right now, as you can see on some of the leaderboards there. So for us, it's about getting as many different kinds of fish as we can.
Chris, you even have a fisher from Brazil experiencing first winter. What's that been like for that competitor?
Yeah, it's been really amazing to watch. So she's spending her first winter in Canada, and of course, Saskatchewan winters are a special brand. And she's tried ice fishing for the first time, and she actually has a northern pike in the top 10 in the tournament, which is just amazing.
So you take this data, and then what do you do with it?
Well, this data is all archived by MyCatch, the app that runs the tournament, and it can be made available to researchers who want to know basic things like what species of fish, what size distribution, what catch rates are present in different bodies of water. And it really takes advantage of angler observed data to help kind of expand our knowledge.
Zach, as a student, how does this set you up for future success?
It's a good opportunity to work with a team and try and get people together to go do something, which is sometimes hard as a university student. You feel like you're just focused on schoolwork and all that. And this is a good opportunity to get with other people at the university and work towards a common goal.
Figured out what you want to be when you grow up, or is it Chris that you want to be when you grow up?
Not quite Chris, but I'd like to work in biology the rest of my life. I enjoy it a lot.
How exciting is this, Chris, to get some hands-on, real-world knowledge out there?
Oh, this is my bread and butter. I mean, I spend a lot of time standing at the front of a lecture hall saying a lot of stuff to students, but if I can get them out in the real world to interact with animals one-on-one, that is where it's at.
How do we follow along in your guys' progress as we get into this last couple of days?
You can see us on the app. Sorry, Chris. Our progress will be found on the app as well as the Hardwater Havoc Instagram and Facebook pages.
Gentlemen, good luck the rest of the way. Happy fishing.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Once more, let's check in with Janelle Lippi at Echo Valley Provincial Park.
Good morning. You might be wondering what we're getting up to now, and we are in the most beautiful sauna down here at Echo Valley Provincial Park. Now, Shelley, tell me a little bit about this sauna and the whole experience that goes with it.
Yes, Janelle. So this sauna is brought to us by Back to Nature Wellness. It's bookable on their website. What we have right now on our heads, obviously, these are beautiful sauna hats. They really add to the magical experience of the sauna. It's wood burning. It's located right next to the visitor center. Our staff help look after the fire, and then you look after the relaxing.
Fantastic. Well, this is a great experience. Now, let's talk everything camping this upcoming season.
Yes, well, we're in the sauna and things are about to get hot camping-wise. We have our dates to be booking coming up. So April 13th is the date to remember if you're interested in a seasonal campsite within the Provincial Park Network. So you'll log on to saskparks.com, and that's where you can register for your site. And then April 14th through 17th, you can look at all the different parks. They're going to be coming out on separate days, and you can book your nightly camping then.
Awesome. Well, lots of fun. Let's say people are booking their campsites and they want to come check out the sauna. How do they go about that?
So the sauna will be located on Back to Nature Wellness, and that's where you can book that. And then again, saskparks.com is where you can find out all the information on our magical provincial parks.
All right, Shelley. Well, thank you so much for spending the morning with us. We are going to be in here a little bit longer warming up before we hit the road. Thank you.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you guys again.
The hit Crave show Heated Rivalry, a love story between two male hockey players, has become a global breakout hit. But as Jacob Carr tells us, it's more than just a show for Saskatchewan's LGBTQ2S+ community.
One of Heated Rivalry's main plot points centers around one of its main characters, Shane Hollander, coming to grips with the fact that he is queer and in love with his main hockey rival, something that is resonating with those in Regina's LGBTQ2S+ community.
I remember what it felt like to be like that. I remember that fear. I remember that I guess butterfly in the stomach when you meet somebody that you're attracted to and you want to get to know, but also the long drawn out wait because you just didn't want anyone to know.
The show was also connecting with local chiropractor Kara House, who met her wife, Drew Black, playing the sport of hockey. And while House's marriage is a story with a happy ending, she remembers trying to keep their relationship confidential back in the late 2000s.
Our relationship, as it sort of grew into something, it was a secret. Like, it was a huge, we felt like we were doing something illegal, and we felt like we were doing something wrong.
House says she was pleasantly surprised by how the story of a non-heterosexual relationship played out in the show, citing the fact that most TV and movies with a queer relationship at the center of them end up in adversity or tragedy. She admits to feeling something like that would happen in her own relationship.
And for us, it's been 19 years and nothing has ruined it. And so I think that, when I'm watching the show, that was it was a very feel-good thing to kind of watch.
And according to Davis, heated rivalry has been a unifying force for the queer community.
One of the beauties about the LGBTQ plus IA community is that we tend to commute and sort of find our own family, and we adopt our own family, and we tend to stick for life when it comes to that. So when you see that camaraderie within the characters in this show, it's amazing.
A force that is sure to continue on, as the hit series was greenlit for a second season in December. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
One motorcycle on Vancouver Island has been lost, found, and loved again, connecting a family across generations.
Yeah, what started as a father's pride and joy has become a story of kindness and unexpected reunions. Adam Sawatsky, say it with me, no relation, reports.
Like he's a bad guy.
If you ask Richard Bales about his dad,
pretty damn cool.
He'll show you a picture of him on his beloved bike.
I've known about this bike my whole life.
The motorcycle his dad customized to look even cooler.
His pride and joy.
That he never wanted to sell, but he was a single father then.
It was probably pretty hard. We all make sacrifices for our family.
Well, they never saw that motorcycle again. Richard and his dad did bond over a shared passion for bikes.
My dad was always super involved.
Was.
His birthday today.
His dad died from a rare health condition when Richard was a teenager. And besides this old knife, Richard has nothing tangible to remember him by.
Everything's just stuff. It's just how that stuff makes you feel.
But then one day, Richard saw a post on social media about the old swap-and shop where his dad sold his bike and decided to join in the conversation by posting this picture.
I was literally shocked. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Eugene Hudson saw the motorcycle he'd bought off Richard's dad when he was 17 years old.
I loved the bike beyond reason. It was a part of me.
Eugene had had it for almost 50 years before inviting Richard and his family to come see it.
And it was a really, really moving, tearful reunion.
And despite Eugene having countless wonderful memories wrapped up with the bike, he saw how Richard was missing even more.
I just knew it in my heart. I knew it. This has to go back home.
So although Eugene was never ever planning to part with the bike, he offered it to Richard.
I guess the way I look at it is I'm just a caretaker for this.
And Richard gratefully accepted.
Hey man, it was an honor that this guy felt like I was the right human for his girl.
Now the bike is on display in Richard's dining room, where he and his family will be gathering for a special dinner in honor of his dad's birthday.
It's cool. They're going to be able to see that, and it's history.
And knowing that Richard's grandkids will now be able to grow up to ride their great-grandfather's motorcycle couldn't make Eugene happier.
And its story can live on, sort of thing.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
Oh, I love that. It's just new purpose for that bike.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, my goodness. Let's get to our sidebar, which features an expensive outfit. My wife would do this. She was told to wear her most expensive outfit for a night out on the town, so she put all of her outdoor gear on, even got the axe to complete the outfit. I hope she actually went to the restaurant.
Not cheap.
Right?
I hope she went and did something in the outdoors. You don't want, it takes a lot to get all bundled up and all that stuff.
Sure does. Sure does.
All right, now to a music class that looks a lot different than what you're used to.
You got a fast car. I want to get anywhere. Any place is better.
So this is Bexley. She is homeschooled. She loves her music class, as you can see. It's just her and her mom lip-syncing Tracy Chapman's song Fast Car in crazy outfits, enjoying every minute of it.
What musically are we learning here?
You learn that it's really fun and heartwarming to sing a song on the porch with your mom.
Okay, that's accepted.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what do you have for us?
All right, one more time. Let's check out this long-distance traveler that scores big.
Love me, love me, love me.
Yeah, the length of the court, not a dribble to be found, but he does get the bucket.
Dream big, little guy. I love it.
He moves in. The shot is up. How come the coach in the background looks like Ted Lasso?
How did you notice that? I'm all eyes on the star here.
I've seen it 3 times. He's heating up, as they would say in NBA Jam. We'll see you tomorrow.